Zach Wilson and the mom's best friend, allegations. Now, Zach Wilson was drafted second overall by the New York Jets, which means he's supposed to be making headlines for his arm strength, not for, well, let me just tell you the story. Wilson dated a girl named Abby Giles since their teenage years. Cute high school sweethearts, right? Wrong. They broke up in 2022, and Abby started dating Dax Milne, who just happened to be Zach's college roommate, best friend, and teammate at BYU. So naturally, people on social media started calling Abby a homie hopper for dating her ex's best friend. But here's where it gets wild. Abby clapped back with possibly the most nuclear response in NFL relationship history. She said, and I quote, "He was sleeping with his mom's best friend. That's the real homie hopper." The mom's best friend, people. Not a random woman, not a groupie. His mother's best friend. The internet absolutely lost it. Memes flew faster than Zach's incompletions. Jets fans had a field day. And the best part, Zach never addressed it. Not once. He just let that bomb drop and went about his business like nothing happened. Meanwhile, Abby and Dax got engaged in 2024, 1 week after Zach announced his own engagement. You, literally, cannot make this level of pettiness up. It's a masterclass in living well is the best revenge. But if you think that drama is intense, buckle up because our next story involves actual firearms. Earl Thomas, 7-time Pro Bowler, Legion of Boom legend, Super Bowl champion, and the man who almost met his maker at the hands of his own wife with his own gun. In April 2020, Earl and his wife Nina got into an argument at their Texas home. Earl left with his brother Seth, and Nina got suspicious. So what did she do? She logged into Earl's Snapchat, first mistake fellas, always log out, and used the location feature to track him down to an Airbnb. But Nina didn't come alone. She grabbed Earl's 9mm Beretta, called her sister and a friend, and rolled up to that Airbnb like the final boss in a video game. When they got inside, Nina found Earl and his brother Seth, both naked in bed with other women. Now, I need you to picture this scene. It's like 3 a.m, you're caught red-handed, and your wife is standing there with your gun. Nina admits she pulled that gun out, disengaged the safety, and put it to Earl's head to scare him. She thought the gun wasn't loaded because she removed the magazine. Plot twist. There was one in the chamber. Earl wrestled the gun away, and when police showed up, Nina was chasing him around a car with a knife, while Earl had the gun. The whole thing was caught on cell phone video. Nina got arrested for burglary with intent to commit aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Earl posted on Instagram saying, "Stuff like this happens, bro." Like he just got a parking ticket instead of almost getting unalived. But the story doesn't end there. Nina filed for divorce, and in 2024, 4 years later, she got charged with stealing $2.7 million from Earl, allegedly spending it on breast implants and a Hermes Birkin bag. You know what? At least she invested in assets that hold their value. Now, if you thought using a gun was extreme, wait until you hear about the woman who weaponized a Cheesecake Factory parking lot. Baker Mayfield, former #1 overall pick, Progressive Insurance spokesperson, and allegedly a man with very specific taste in rendezvous locations. In August 2019, just 1 month after marrying his wife Emily, a 20-year-old woman named Casey Dingus called into a Cleveland radio show with a story that would make any PR team physically ill. According to Casey, she sent Baker a video of herself shotgunning a beer at a Browns game, mimicking something he had done that went viral. Baker allegedly added her on Snapchat. They exchanged messages and photos, and then he told her to meet him behind a cheesecake factory in Westlake, Ohio. Now pause for a second. Behind a cheesecake factory, my man is making millions of dollars, has access to literally any hotel in Cleveland, and he chose the back of a Cheesecake Factory parking lot. The disrespect to the Cheesecake Factory alone is criminal. But wait, it gets better. Casey claims Baker told her to leave her phone in her car. She got into his SUV with tinted windows, hopped in the back seat, and performed oral sex on him. She even lost her jewel in his car, and they had to search for it. Nothing says romantic encounter quite like frantically searching for a vape pen in an SUV at midnight. Casey went into extensive detail during a 35-minute radio interview. She showed alleged nude photos Baker sent her. Another woman even called into the show, claiming Baker did the same thing to her. Why did Casey expose him? Because he blocked her on Twitter. Let this be a lesson. Never underestimate a woman you ghosted. Baker never responded to the allegations. His wife Emily posted a cryptic Instagram message about not sweating the small stuff and focusing on what's important. Translation: we're dealing with this privately, and also, I'm too busy being unbothered. They're still married today with a kid. So either Casey was lying, or Emily decided that Progressive insurance money spends real good regardless of parking lot activities. Speaking of exposures that destroyed relationships, let's talk about a marriage that lasted exactly 41 days. Chad Johnson, also known as Chad Ochocinco, was one of the most entertaining wide receivers in NFL history. Six-time Pro Bowler, trash talk king, and the man who somehow fumbled a marriage faster than he ever fumbled a football. In July 2012, Chad married Evelyn Lozera, a star from the reality show Basketball Wives. Their wedding was huge, lavish, and aired on VH1 for a reality show called Ev and Ocho. 36 days later, Evelyn found a receipt for condoms in Chad's car. Not even opened condoms. A receipt. Chad tried to tell her he bought them for a friend, which is the second oldest excuse in the book, after "it's not what it looks like." The argument escalated, and according to Evelyn, Chad headbutted her so hard that she suffered a 3-inch laceration on her forehead that required emergency room treatment. Police arrested Chad for domestic battery. The Miami Dolphins released him immediately. VH1 canceled their show. Evelyn filed for divorce 3 days later. The marriage lasted 41 days total. Chad pleaded no contest to the domestic violence charge and got 12 months probation. But here's what makes this even worse. In 2020, 8 years later, Evelyn released a tearful video revealing that the headbutt incident wasn't the first time, and that Chad had abused her multiple times during their relationship. She came forward because Chad tweeted something about losing his temper for 3 seconds and how it cost him his career, basically playing the victim. Evelyn said his comments were infuriating and triggers for her, and she refused to let him rewrite history. Chad's NFL career ended that night in 2012. He never played another down. Sometimes karma doesn't wait. It shows up immediately with a police report and a divorce lawyer. But not all exposures involve violence. Sometimes they just involve good old-fashioned social media warfare. Valentine's Day 2015. A day for love, chocolates, and roses. Unless you're NFL tight end Delanie Walker, in which case it's the day your girlfriend hacks your Instagram and airs out all your business. Walker's girlfriend, Racine Lewin, got access to his Instagram account and posted a message pretending to be him. "This is my girlfriend/fiancé of 10 years. Her name is Racine." The post read, "I broke up with her just a few days ago, like I do every February because I have no self-control in the off-season. I'm a celebrity, and she no longer looks good enough for my image while I'm not playing football. She's also 4 months pregnant, so I figured it was the perfect time to take advantage of her." 4 months pregnant. He allegedly broke up with her while she was pregnant. The post continued, revealing they were having a girl, and basically putting Walker on blast for being a terrible partner. Racine said in another post that this was completely out of character for her, but she was tired of being taken advantage of. And honestly, sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire. The posts were eventually deleted, but the internet is forever, baby. Screenshots live in infamy. Delanie never publicly addressed it, but I guarantee you he changed all his passwords after that. Now what's even better is a guy whose baby mama took deadbeat dad accusations to a whole new level. Richard Sherman, 5-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, Legion of Boom cornerback, and according to Raina Westberg, a deadbeat dad who hasn't paid a single dime in child support. In 2021, rumors started swirling that Sherman had fathered a child with Westberg while married to his wife, Ashley. A friend of Ashley's went on social media and blasted Westberg. saying you're out here ruining homes and that baby won't get the love it deserves because you don't know how to love or respect anything. Westberg fired back hard, calling the friend jealous and old, and then she started posting photos of her son, West Sherman. Yes, she named him Wes Sherman, all over social media. She claimed that Richard knew about the baby since she found out she was pregnant but hasn't helped out with a single dime. Westberg even called him a deadbeat dad publicly multiple times. Now, we don't know the full story here. Maybe there's a court battle happening behind the scenes. Maybe there's a paternity test situation. But what we do know is that Westberg had zero problems putting Sherman on blast for the world to see. And when you're a public figure making millions, that's a PR nightmare you really don't want. Here's the lesson, fellas. If you're gonna be messy, at least be smart enough to log out of your Snapchat, hide those receipts, and for the love of everything holy, do not meet up in a Cheesecake Factory parking lot.